Yeah, first I have to tell you is that in Panama, we have been lacking of valid information and timely information for many years. The information we receive is part of a national supply of information from the national controller and not a specific tourism information. Therefore, we have to start from almost from zero. We have formed, out of the National Chamber of Tourism, we decided to approach the government institutions that had to do with tourism and ask them to please help us form a group that would be able to form an INSTO observatory. With that, we got people like the Ministry of Tourism, the National Controller, the mayors of the city, private entities doing work, educational work, universities, members of the tourism industry, and other groups that had to do with tourism. We got them all together, and we formed our a group to work on the making of an observatory in Panama. As you know, Panama is a very small country. We decided to form our tourism observatory in Destination Panama, which covers the area where the canal is and the city of Panama and the city in Colón are. When you get to Panama, you will first see our brand new airport. When you come in, then you can follow up in 10 minutes and be on the ruins of the old city that will be 500 years old this January. And in the back, you find the Panama City, which is a very modern city full of skyscrapers. These ruins are, like I said, 500 years old. These are the very first city in the Pacific Ocean that was built by the Spaniards and then destroyed by the pirates. The entrance of the city of Panama, where you can, that's the Pacific Ocean, and that's the statue to Balboa, the discoverer of the ocean, and the city on the background with all the skyscrapers, hotels, banks, etc. Here we have the city of Panama and the old city of Panama, which is one of our most important touristic areas, which is called Casco Viejo, and is the second most visited area after the Panama Canal. This here is where we start. We have taken the city of Panama as our an island here at only 12 minutes in a boat from Panama City named Taboga, which are beautiful beaches and very good fishing around. And we started here and we come to the ruins of the old city. We come to the city itself and go through all the area of the canal to Fort of San Lorenzo and Fort of Portobelo and come back into the city. This is the area we're going to be monitoring now when we start at. Here in this area, we have more than 20 different tourist products. We have Taboga Island, which I talked before. It's very beautiful and very close to the city. It makes it very easy for a person that is staying one day in the morning to take the boat, spend a day on the beach, and come back in the afternoon to take the plane. Everything is very close. We have water sports, scientific. We have all the observatories in the world, like Smithsonian, and a lot of them are doing scientific in our tropical forests. We have cultural. We have museums. This is one of the, it's the only museum built by Guerin, a very recognized architect in Latin America, and is the only one existing. We have theaters and areas that were used to be military structures from the US when they had the canal, when they were running the canal. They have been now turned into universities. These are an international university where there's a lot of investigation done in these areas. We have cruisings, We have 2 home ports. This is our new convention center, built up for 15,000 people. That's a big convention. The city in the back. Then you have gastronomy in the city. We have the old city, and with a lot of, the canal. All of this I'm talking about is no more than half an hour from the city. From the hotel you will be staying in the city, you can find all of these places. The old canal, or the old set of locks, and then on the left you see the new set of locks, which are, there's a big difference in the size of ships that can go by from one to the other. We have a lot of adventure, forest, tropical forest. You can spend a day with the original Indians, stay with them, eat with them, sleep with them, dance with them, and do communitary work or rural communitary, archaeological, health and wellness, just relaxing after your heavy day of tourism, and finish your day on the forts of San Lorenzo and Portobello, which were the ones that protected the city from the pirates. They couldn't do it. The pirates won. And end up at the city, at the big hotels, and extraordinary nightlife. This is what Panama has, but we have not measured it. We are not measuring it. At what you can measure, you can manage. So the interest of we, the Chamber of Tourism in Panama, is to be able to measure all of the opportunities we have with our tourism. 80% of the investment in tourist installations is in the city of Panama, here, what I have shown you. 80% of the touristical products, eco-touristics, resorts, etc., are outside of the country, are outside of this area. But it's 80-20, 20% in the city and 80% on the outskirts of the city, the tourism attractions. But the investment is 80% in the city and 20% on the outskirts. And with information, we want to make a change to that, to change it so that it's a level play in the city. And the profits that can come from tourists can be socially reverted to everybody in the city. I'll take just a few seconds to show you what is there on the other, in the 80% of Panama. You know what happens, technology. This is just to show you what we have outside of the city in order of tourism. Well, we see this, I'll stop. I can tell you it worked yesterday. All of these areas that are being shown here are areas that have no measure at all, no indicators. Everybody knows that they have a lot of visitors, a lot of people comes in, but who comes in for what, or to do what, or how long they stay, what they need, what their requirements are. There's no measure in that, and that's what we want to do with the observatory. We want to have clear rules like INSTO have, so that we can follow them and be able to, if I could say it that way, play on the big leagues with you all.
Antonio, if the sound or the technical problem can't be resolved, we use it later on. in the in a later session we play then the video, if that is okay with you.
Yeah, that's okay with me. Thank you.
Perfect. So thank you very much for your presentation.